Do you believe a silent invader is draining billions from Texas every year? Not a storm, not a drought. Wild hogs, fast-breeding, highly intelligent, and now spread across ranch land, river bottoms, and the edges of town. One rancher told us repairs can cost thousands every month. Torn fences, looted pastures, destroyed irrigation, and wrecked equipment. And the impact doesn't stop at farms. When trails, parks, and scenic areas get churned up, visitors notice, and communities feel it. So, how do you take control without guessing? Step 1 is location. Hogs leave a clear signature. Hoof prints, mud smears on fences, and long strips of torn ground where they've rooted for food. Start by mapping those signs along field edges, creek lines, and brushy corridors. Then verify the schedule with surveillance cameras. The goal isn't just to confirm they're there. It's to learn when the sounder moves, which route the lead animal prefer, and where they pause to regroup. Once you know the pattern, choose the right trap. For Texas sounders, the most effective option is usually a corral-style trap built to hold multiple hogs at once. Use sturdy panels, anchor them, and install a reliable gate that closes smoothly. A weak latch or a tipping panel can teach the herd to avoid your setup for weeks. Bait matters too. Strong scents work, corn, fermented grain, or mixed food scraps. Lay a trail from outside the trap toward the center, with the heaviest bait at the trigger zone. For the first 2 or 3 nights, don't set the gate. Let them feed calmly and build trust. That pre-bait phase is where most success is won. After they commit competently, activate the mechanism and check traps every morning. Quick checks reduce stress, prevent escape attempts, and help you adjust if the hogs start circling wide. Daytime can work because hogs sometimes forage in daylight, but they're more alert and use thick cover. That's why every hinge, cable, and trigger must be double-checked before action. In the next part, we'll compare daytime versus nighttime control permits and the mistakes that turn one trap into a lesson the herd never forgets. Before you place a single panel, remember, this is wildlife management, not a stunt. Keep traps away from public walkways. Secure bait so pets can't access it. And follow county and state rules for transport and disposal. If you're working near towns, coordinate with landowners and post clear warnings so no one wanders into the setup after dark. And here's the key mindset shift. Don't chase the loudest damage. Control the routes. Control the staging points. When you cut off the repeat path, the neighborhood stops being easy food and the sounder starts spending energy elsewhere instead of in your fields. Coming up, the nighttime game, infrared cameras, motion alerts, and why one mistime trigger can educate an entire herd. We'll also show how to set a corral gate, so it closes cleanly only when a whole group is inside, no fragments. Night changes everything. In daylight, wild hogs rely on brush, shadows, and quick breaks in the tree line. At night, they control the schedule. They travel farther, stay tighter at the sounder, and use darkness to test every bait site without exposing the whole group. That's why just trap them at night isn't a simple upgrade. It's a different game. Higher stakes, faster learning, and less room for mistakes. Start with compliance and safety. Traps must be placed away from public paths, roads, and areas where pets or bystanders could wander in. Property lines matter. Access permissions matter. In some locations, nighttime tools, remote-activated gates, infrared cameras, thermal scanners and motion sensors, may require extra permissions depending on land type and proximity to conservation areas. The practical rule is simple. Treat night control like a professional job. Mark boundaries. Use reflective markers so your own team can navigate without blasting bright lights. And keep a clear safety lane around the gate and trigger area. Now the strategy. Night control succeeds when you remove pressure and maximize commitment. The biggest mistake is triggering too early. One half capture teaches a sounder a perfect lesson. Bait equals danger. After that, the cautious adults hang back, send scouts, and circle wide until sunrise. You haven't reduced the problem. You've trained it. Instead, build a routine that makes the trap feel normal. Keep bait consistent. Keep the entry wide, stable, and quiet. Hide shiny metal. Eliminate loose panels. Pack down rattling chains. Reduce human scent near the gate line. Then use cameras to learn the commit point, the moment when the whole group relaxes and feeds, and not just sniffs and retreats. Remote monitoring helps, but only if timing is disciplined.
Understood.
Don't watch the
Holding
first
position
hog and
steady.
get excited. Wait for the last straggler. Look for calm body language. Heads down, steady feeding, no sudden freezes. When an entire sounder is fully inside and settled, trigger cleanly and decisively. After activation, the work isn't finished. Check traps early the next morning. Fast checks reduce stress, prevent escapes, and protect the site from becoming a loud disturbance that educates the next group. Keep handling humane and controlled. And follow local guidance for transport, disposal, and sanitation so you don't create environmental hazards. Finally, expect adaptation. Night herds often have backups. Creek crossings, fence gaps, and staging pockets in thick cover. The next step is to turn your setup into a network. One main corral on the primary route, plus smaller guide points that steer movement away from the neighborhood edge. In part 3, we'll map corridors like a pressure grid, stop reroutes to the next street, and show how an area becomes not worth the risk for good. And one more warning. If they circle but won't enter, don't rush. Reset, rebate, and wait. Patience tonight prevents months of smarter returns. By now you've seen the pattern. Hogs don't simply show up. They run a route. They stage, test, then commit when risk feels low. So part 3 is about turning scattered traps into a control grid that shuts down repeat access. First, map the corridors. Corridors are the narrow connectors hogs use between cover and food. Creek lines, brush tunnels, fence gaps, covered crossings, and the shadow edge where woods meet pasture. Walk them in daylight and mark every entry point, rub line, and churn patch. Then confirm at night with cameras. Your goal is to identify the primary lane and the backup lanes the sounder switches to after pressure. Next, control the staging points. A staging point is where a group gathers before pushing into a risky area. When you trap at the staging point, you stop the coordinated surge into yards and fields. Place the main corral on the most reliable staging edge. Then use guide panels or temporary barriers to narrow the approach, so the herd enters from a predictable angle. This isn't about forcing panic. It's about removing options. When reroutes appear, respond fast. If the herd shifts to a new gap, don't chase it randomly. Block the gap, then rebate the original corridor to pull them back into the prepared zone. Think like traffic control. Close the side roads, keep the highway open, and place the capture point where visibility and safety are best. Measure progress with evidence, not feelings. Fewer fresh tracks along fences, less overnight rooting, and shorter camera visits mean the area is losing value to the hogs. Over time, the sounder spends its energy elsewhere because your zone no longer offers easy, repeatable access. And keep the operation responsible. Use sturdy panels, check gates and triggers daily. Keep bait secure from pets, and follow local rules for land access, transport, and disposal. If you're near homes, keep lighting minimal, avoid loud disturbances, and maintain a clear safety perimeter. The final lesson is simple. You don't win by getting lucky once. You win by controlling space. When routes are managed and staging points are shut down, the cycle breaks. Texas doesn't need more chaos. It needs structured, humane, regulation-compliant control that protects ranches, communities, and the landscape, night after night. Quick checklist before you call it done. 1. Cameras confirm a main route stays quiet for several nights. 2. Backup gaps are blocked or monitored. 3. Bait sites are cleaned up so you don't attract new groups. And 4. Fences are repaired where hogs learn to slip through. Miss one, and the habit can restart. The way all win is silence. Quiet nights and clean mornings. That's when the boundary is restored, without drama, without guesswork, and without creating a smarter return. Next, we'll show how to pick the best capture location, fast using tracks, terrain, and timing. If you want more Texas hog control breakdowns, save this and follow along.